You lose respect every time you open your mouth to earn it. Read that again. The words you use to win respect are the exact words that bleed it out of you. You think speaking proves your worth. It exposes your hunger. And people can smell hunger. Picture the moment. You walk into a room, a meeting, a dinner, a circle of people who do not yet take you seriously. You feel it instantly. That thin, cold layer of being underestimated. So you do what you have always done. You speak. You explain your value. You offer your opinion before anyone asks for it. You fill the silence because the silence feels like a verdict against you. And as the words leave your mouth, something strange happens. You feel yourself getting smaller. The harder you try to be respected, the more the room relaxes its grip on you. By the time you stop talking, you have become furniture. Niccolò Machiavelli understood something that the modern world has tried to breed out of you. Respect is not given to the one who is right. It is given to the one who appears in control. Power is perception. And perception is built in silence, in stillness, in restraint, not in the desperate noise of a man explaining why he matters. He wrote for princes, but the mechanic is the same in a boardroom. A family, a relationship. The one who controls himself controls the room. There is a hidden architecture to this, a way of moving through people that makes them lower their voice when you enter, lean in when you finally speak, and feel your absence like a missing tooth. It has nothing to do with charisma, money, or volume. By the end of this video, you will understand how to make a room respect you before you say a single word. But first, you have to understand why your words have been betraying you this entire time. Let us start with the wound. Why does explaining yourself lower your status? Because every explanation is a quiet request for permission. When you justify your choice, you are asking the other person to approve it. When you defend your opinion, you are handing them the role of judge. You have placed yourself below them and called it communication. The man who explains is the man who submits. He just does it with extra steps. Watch high-status people. Really watch them. They do not rush to fill gaps. They do not chase agreement. When challenged, they do not flood the air with reasons. They pause. They let the challenge hang there, unanswered, and in that pause the challenger begins to feel exposed instead, because silence forces the other person to confront their own words. And most people cannot stand the sound of their own voice echoing back at them unanswered. They start to soften. They start to doubt. They start to wonder if they spoke too soon. This is the first thing you must internalize. Respect lives in the gap between stimulus and response. The average man has no gap. Someone pokes him, he reacts. Someone questions him, he defends. Someone disrespects him, he escalates. He is a vending machine. Press the button, get the product. And no one respects a vending machine. They use it. The respected man has a delay, a space, a quiet half-second where he decides whether you are even worth a response. That space is power. Let us build it, law by law. The first law is the power of the pause. Most people are terrified of silence. They treat a pause in conversation like a fire that must be put out immediately. So they speak before they think, agree before they consider, answer before the question has finished landing. This eagerness reads as weakness because it is. It says, I need this interaction to go smoothly, more than I need to protect my own position. When someone asks you something heavy, do not answer instantly. Let the question sit. Hold the silence for one beat longer than feels comfortable. Then speak slowly. The man who can sit inside silence without flinching looks like a man who has nothing to prove. And the man who has nothing to prove is the most dangerous man in the room. There is a physical truth underneath this. When you rush to speak, your nervous system is telling everyone you are under pressure. The fast voice, the over-explaining, the nervous laugh, these are status leaks. They drip information about your insecurity into the room. The pause seals the leak. It signals that your inner state is not controlled by the people around you. And that is the entire game. Respect is the involuntary reaction people have when they sense your inner world cannot be touched by them. The second law is stillness. Your body talks before your mouth does, and it never stops. The man who fidgets, who shifts his weight, who touches his face, who scans the room for approval. He has already told everyone where he stands before he says a word. Stillness is the opposite signal. The man who can stand or sit with a quiet, settled body broadcasts a single message: nothing here threatens me. Watch how predators move in nature. They are economical. They do not waste motion. The prey animal is the one that twitches, darts, checks over its shoulder. Your body is constantly choosing which animal you are. When you are challenged, when someone tries to provoke you, the test is not what you say. It is whether your body betrays you first. The flinch, the defensive arms, the eyebrows jumping up. The fool reveals his entire inner state through motion. You must learn to receive provocation the way a statue receives wind. Let it pass over you. Do not blink it away. Do not perform your calm. That is just another twitch. Simply remain. The person attacking you is looking for a crack, a reaction, a sign that they reached you. When they find nothing, something shifts in them. Their confidence turns to confusion. The confusion turns to a quiet fear. Because a man they cannot move is a man they cannot control. The third law is selective presence. Your attention is a currency, and you have been giving it away for free. You laugh at every joke. You respond to every message instantly. You are available to everyone, always, and so your presence is worth nothing. Abundance destroys value. When a man gives his full attention to everyone equally, his attention means nothing to anyone. Machiavelli understood that scarcity creates worth. The prince who is always available becomes a servant. The one who is selectively present becomes an event. This does not mean you play games or ignore people to manipulate them. It means you stop treating your focus as something you owe the world. When you give someone your full, undivided attention, it should feel like a gift, because it is rare. And when you withhold it, when you do not laugh at the thing that is not funny, when you do not rush to respond, when you let your silence be a quiet no, people begin to chase the version of you that they cannot fully have. The man whose approval is easy to get is the man whose approval is worthless. Make your presence mean something by refusing to spend it everywhere. The fourth law is the unbothered frame. This is the heart of everything. A frame is the emotional reality you carry into a room. Your interpretation of what is happening and who has the power in it. When you walk in anxious to be liked, that anxiety becomes the frame, and everyone unconsciously adopts it. They treat you as someone who needs something. But when you walk in genuinely unbothered, not performing indifference, but truly not needing the room's approval, your frame becomes the gravity that everyone else orbits. The unbothered frame is tested most when you are disrespected. A subtle insult, a dismissive comment, a test disguised as a joke. The average man takes the bait. He defends, he argues, he gets loud, and in doing so he confirms that the insult reached him. He steps into the other person's courtroom and accepts the charge. The man with the unbothered frame does something that feels almost unnatural. He does not defend. He looks at the person with mild, distant curiosity, as if watching someone embarrass themselves at a party. Maybe he says nothing. Maybe he offers a slow, unbothered smile. The message is unmistakable. That was not powerful enough to move me. Nothing destroys an attacker faster than the discovery that their attack did not land. The fifth law is letting actions speak. The man who announces his competence is doubted. The man who simply demonstrates it is believed. When you tell people how skilled, how disciplined, how successful you are, you create an invisible debt. Now you must prove it, and they are waiting for you to fail. But when you say nothing and let the work, the result, the quiet consistency speak, the respect arrives on its own, and it arrives deeper. People trust what they discover far more than what they are told. So stop narrating your value. Stop fishing for recognition. Do the thing, do it well, and let the silence around your competence make it louder. The most respected man in any field is rarely the loudest about it. He is the one whose results make noise, so he does not have to. The sixth law is the exit. How you leave a room is more powerful than how you enter it. Most people overstay. They linger after the conversation is done, hunting for one more laugh, one more sign that they were liked, One more moment of belonging. This is the behavior of someone afraid the connection will vanish without them guarding it. The high-status man leaves first, and he leaves while things are still good. He ends the conversation a beat before it would naturally die. He walks away with something left unsaid. This creates a small, magnetic incompleteness. People remember the man who left them wanting more far longer than the man who stayed until they were tired of him. The exit is your final frame.
Make it clean, make it early, scene 174. And let your absence finish the sentence your presence started. Scene 175. So that is the architecture. The pause, the stillness, the selective presence. Scene 176. The unbothered frame, the silent competence, the clean exit. Scene 177. 6 ways to make a room bend toward. Scene 178. You without a single word of begging. Scene 179. But here is the darker truth, the part. Scene 180. No one selling you confidence will admit. Respect and being liked are not the same thing. They are often enemies. The path you have just learned will make people respect you, take you seriously, lower their voice when you speak. It will not always make them comfortable around you. The man who cannot be read, who does not chase approval, who is content in silence, becomes slightly unsettling to people who live their whole lives performing for each other. You will gain weight in every room. You will also gain a certain distance. The crowd that bonds over shared insecurity will sense that you are no longer one of them. This is the price. Power has always had a tax, and the tax is a quiet kind of solitude. Most men are not willing to pay it. They would rather be liked and forgotten than respected and slightly feared. They trade their weight for warmth and spend their lives wondering why no one takes them seriously. You now stand at that fork. You can keep explaining yourself, keep filling every silence, keep chasing the approval of people whose approval means nothing, and stay comfortable. Or you can become the man who controls himself first, and through that, controls every room he enters. Understand this, though. What I have shown you here is the outer layer. These 6 laws are how you carry yourself among ordinary people, and against ordinary people, they are more than enough. But there is a deeper level. There are people who have read the same playbook.
Scene 208. Predators who recognize the pause, the stillness, the frame. Scene 209. Because they use them too. What happens when? Scene 210. The unbothered man meets another unbothered man. Scene 211. When 2 people who refuse to submit enter the same room. Scene 212. That is a different kind of war, and the rules. Scene 213. That govern it are not meant for a public video. Scene 214. The algorithm does not reward the things that actually shift power. Scene 215. The most useful knowledge is the quietest. Scene 216. If this reached you, if you felt. Scene 217. That cold click of recognition while watching. Scene 218. Then you are already different from most of. Scene 219. The people who will scroll past this. Scene 220. Subscribe, because the men who understand silence are. Scene 221. The ones who tend to come back. 222. And if you want what lies past the outer layer, Scene 223. The part I cannot say openly here. Scene 224. You already know there is a door for that. Scene 225. Most people will never open it. That is exactly why it works. Scene 226. Stay quiet. Stay still. And let them wonder.